It's January 9th and I'm procrastinating working on my last exam for this exam season. So let me just tell you a little bit about how life has been. I had a very chill New Year's. We were only 4 people and the rest left for a party, and I stayed home and got to bed at around 1, which still felt like celebratorily late for me. We had a lot of really lovely food that Thomas prepared with the help of his friend. Yeah, I have some clips of all the different dishes. Very fine dining experience, very delicious. I wish I could send the taste of it to you. Den blevet glemt lidt. When the clock struck 12, I realized how many places close by this apartment actually are places where people go to fire off fireworks. I haven't been in this apartment at New Year's in the years that we've lived here, since 2022 until this New Year. A little bit scary and also kind of fun that we had fireworks going off so closely to the apartment, also because we're quite high up. They were more like almost level with us, a little bit higher up than us, but still like scary, exciting, right on that edge. All in all, it was quite pleasant. I was supposed to celebrate with the Decompression, but they got sick, which was unfortunate. And then luckily, Thomas was really quick to change his plans so that I wasn't gonna be alone on New Year's. And then I had an intense first week of January writing my bachelor's, which I turned in 2 days ago. The first few days of January were wonderful. We had snow and we had clear skies, we had sun. We had frost. I love that kind of weather. I always drink out of my snowy Moomin cup when it's snowing. It feels very magical, especially after like a whole winter of gray, rainy, drizzling, nothing kind of weather. Of course, I have to get out into that sun. I'm going to the local thrift store just to have a destination. One of my intentions for 2025 is that I want to be a bit more bored, a little bit more often. It's just to keep in mind that I miss the feeling of not putting entertainment into my mind the moment that I don't have anything to do, and that it's actually really pleasant to just sit in whatever moment is happening and letting it unfold, like when you were a kid and you couldn't like constantly escape from reality in the way that phones and social media and TV shows and music even kind of does. I think like reducing screen time is something that's almost like a cultural mandate at this point, but for a good reason, you know. I think I don't want to grab my phone out of pure habit whenever I have a second silence or don't know what to do with myself. And I think it does bring a lot of reflections about using it as like a crutch to escape whatever is happening in that moment. I've gotten up at 8 these past days and it's been really dark, and I've lit a candle and been really slow, just waking up, trying not to look at my phone or my computer, but rather just like stand in the silence and listen to whatever thoughts come through my head. And I do think that that deepens and strengthens the relationship I have with myself, and that it builds a really good foundation for the rest of the day. I've also been making these flower keychains. I made 3 today out of this old bag that I showed off in a thrift haul back in 2020. I don't think I've worn that bag even once because it was the size of like a pencil case. Would rather wear bigger bags or just put things in my pocket because it fit the same amount that I could put in a pocket. But I loved the look of it so much. At the same time, it was a little bit visually overwhelming. So I almost decided to sell it, but then I got really sad at the idea of giving it away. So I decided to cut off all of the felted pom-poms instead, which felt also a little bit rude to the creators of the bag. But then I could keep the thing that I adored so much about the bag, which was the pom-poms. And I could use them to make other things, such as these keyrings. And these are really zen for me to make, and I really love the look of them. I've also considered that you could attach a pin to it and make it a brooch instead. I made a version today which I filmed making, and this one is with darker colors, which is for Lægebjørn. I've also started waxing my Fjellraven jacket, but I think I'm gonna need to use an iron on a low setting instead of a hairdryer because I think it's not absorbing the wax entirely, and it just feels like I'm doing something wrong. I actually had like heart palpitations yesterday all day. Like, I'm not sure if that's the English term, but in Danish it's called like an extra heartbeat, which is something the heart does. Sometimes it's not dangerous, but it is like a stress reaction. And so that really domineered my day and set the tone and the mood, even though I was actually feeling really relieved and happy and satisfied with having turned in my bachelor's. My body was just kind of catching up on a lot of stress and anxiety that I hadn't had space to feel, I think. But today that has been less prominent. I'm just procrastinating getting started on this portfolio exam. I already wrote the majority of what I'm gonna turn in. It's just that I need to change it based on some feedback and add some photos and do something with the formatting and stuff. But I also just kind of want to get it over with because I want a break. I want some peace. I like for my heart literally to calm down a little bit. It's been a little bit dramatic, I'm not gonna lie. It's been a little bit hard on me. I think I'm gonna make myself a hot chocolate. I'm devising a plan to infuse some milk with these mint leaves from my mom's garden and then make a hot cocoa with it. I did this like a month ago and it was so delicious. I really recommend doing it if you like mint. And also I've gotten a lot of new subscribers after my last video. It's the first video I've tried having like reached that much of an outside audience, and it's been a really positive experience. Thank you so much for joining me here. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, to like, and especially those who comment, just because I get to have a sense of connection with anyone who comments, and also DMs on Instagram, like everything. And all of my new subscribers on Substack as well. I want to keep writing there. Again, if you have anything specific you want me to write about, let me know. I'm also wearing my new wool leggings that I got from Thomas's parents. I love them so much. I think I've been basically wearing them every day since the 29th of December. They are marvelous and they're perfect for this weather today. We also got a new pair of kitchen scissors. This one is with a little Moomin scenario on it. It's got Moomin and his girlfriend and two characters hugging and one holding flowers, and it's so sharp. We had an old pair of scissors that I think is 10 years old at this point. I got this one after I turned in my bachelor's. I went over to the kitchen supply store with Thomas and we decided to buy this one. I also had a really fun experience shaping and baking some bread. Thomas had prepared the dough and he left the job of finishing the buns to me. And I've never done that before, and it made me feel a lot more self-assured in the concept of being able to make and bake bread, which is something I also want to do in 2025. I might show you some of that process in a later vlog, not right now. I still have that exam to finish. This is what wearing a scarf will do to your hair. I just came back from a little trip out to donate some stuff and also to look at the thrift store. Today is so wonderfully sunny, bright blue skies. I love when winter in January is like this. We've had a few gray, stormy, rainy days, so this is much needed. But I wanted to show you what I found at the thrift store. I bought one item of clothing. Gray sweatshirt with raglan sleeves and this kind of mock turtleneck. It's by, apparently, I mean I looked it up, I didn't know it beforehand, but it's a Danish brand called Golben, which uses organic materials and it's produced in Turkey, I think it says. And I've been looking a little bit for like a hoodie with a zip in the front. So I think that's why it was even on my radar, because like a gray sweatshirt, that's gonna be in every single thrift store. A lot of sweatshirts actually have a high content of polyester in them, which makes them like thin and gross. Sorry. Now my dilemma is that I already have this crew neck gray sweatshirt. Essentially the same piece of clothing. To me this feels like an upgrade, but I also am fond of this one. I bought it I think in 2019, cropped it. And to me they have quite different vibes because of the construction. I don't know if I'm ready to get rid of my other one, and I was thinking of this as I bought this one, and I thought maybe I could ask you guys your opinion. But I like that there's no line here, that the material continues up into the neck. I think that's quite elegant and simple. I'm still not sure if I want to crop this one as well. Just there's something about the like the top part is quite boxy and then it's straight down, which sits a bit awkwardly on my hips sometimes. My torso is a little bit short, and also because of my hips. So I crop a lot of my shirts, not to be cropped, but just to like fall softly on my hips. Can you believe this lighting right now? Oh, and it's going away so soon. Recently I've been wearing these tiny, tiny, tiny little dot earrings. I kind of like how ridiculously discreet they are. It's almost like eye-catching, thinking that I'm not wearing any earrings, but then I am. And then I wore my new little keychain on this which I got in Portugal. And I like to wear it crossbody, even though it's a little bit awkward with this shoulder handle. I'm not sure what the design intention was with this, but I'm taking it as like a construction quirk. And I like the way that it hangs right there on the chest when I wear it crossbody. I got two other things at the thrift store, kind of random practical things. I got these bubble lined postal bags. That sounds weird. That's what this one says, for posting things. Because actually today I was considering making and selling some of these flower keychains, and I thought that it was perfect to thrift little packaging supplies for that, or just for sending anything to friends or family. And then I don't know if this is really stupid, but they had this bite relief, soothe mosquito bites, just click, natural rapid relief, a kinetic treatment that avoids the desire to scratch mosquito and other insect bites and stings. It contains quartz crystals, which when clicked produces a low intensity electrical current to relieve symptoms. And I tried looking it up to see if this was bogus, and I'm not sure, guys. It looks a little suspect, to be honest. Like, makes me a little nervous, the idea of using this, so I don't know. But mosquitoes love me, so I thought maybe I'll try this in the summer. We don't really have mosquitoes here in the winter, and also we just don't really have them in the city, so it's for vacations and stuff. It's a new day. I just wanted to say that I'm really happy with this. I think sometimes in the moment, right when I've bought something, I'm really excited about it, and then it really quickly fizzles away, which is why I don't want to buy as much this year. Don't we all? But I think this is going to be a really good piece in my wardrobe. I like them a little bit better with these low-waisted linen pants that I have. It's a very gray outfit all the way down to the socks, which matches the weather today. I like the format of this video, kind of walking you through a little bit of what has happened in the past few weeks of my life, acting as like a narrative thread, pulling together all these different clips I have had that didn't feel coherent on their own. And so I hope you also liked it, and I hope you've had a good start to your 2025. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.